Me plays that line between playful and a little bit eerie. It looks like the wind is kind of moving the whole structure a little bit, and it's definitely leaning.
I can't believe that somebody made it, but it also feels like it could have just grown there on its own.
It brings out that sense of exploration within us. We want to look around every corner and just explore that area.
Well, it's a sculpture that consists of 5 structures made out of sticks, and it's only out of sticks. There's no other material. Some of the vertical ones are planted into the ground to hold up horizontal and diagonal ones. It rises about 20, 30 feet, and it looks like maybe sort of an old sort of church or chapel kind of grouping of buildings. Patrick Doherty is an internationally recognized artist known for making these large-scale monumental stick sculptures all around the world. And he came to visit the campus, and he said that at that time he was struck by, just in general, the architecture around St. John's and St. Ben's, especially the chapels and churches. And he actually really liked that idea of something that's just beckoning you to kind of go and explore, go out into the grasslands or into the woods, and that it's also kind of a church or a chapel. He doesn't make them by himself. He needs volunteers, a crew of assistants. So we recruited like crazy. We were putting posters up around campus and sending emails and bringing our students from our classes to the site as part of their classes. And by the end, we had over 300 volunteers from all of those areas. My sense is that that may have been as many volunteers as he's ever had help with one of these sculptures. The actual construction of the project took 3 weeks, and it was solid that 3 weeks, from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. every day. By the end of the day, he and all the volunteers are exhausted. We've been out in the sun, out in whatever the conditions were.
It was physically demanding as much as it was mentally demanding. People just kind of naturally have a sense of how to work with sticks. And once you get the style of what he's working with, it seems kind of natural to do the process. All the wood came from St. John's Arboretum, so we harvested all on site. The willow, it replenished itself very quickly, and so we wanted to get it from as close as we could. And the ironwood, we actually wanted to thin out so that different trees could take root in that area. So we were helping them fulfill their mission, but they were helping us fulfill ours. It took a long time to gather all those materials. We had over 10 loads in a tractor trailer that we weighed one of them that was 3,300 pounds. So there's over 15 tons of material in that structure. It was dusty, it was dirty, we were sweating, it was hot and humid out. And at the end of those 2 days, we thought, the hard part's over, thank God. We can go take it easy and work with the sticks on site now. And then that's when I realized that the hard part was just beginning. We're bending sticks, and oftentimes these are ironwood that are 3 inches around and trying to bend those through. So it was hard. It's called stick work for a reason. To give it the leaning structure, we would tie the ironwood to the scaffolding with twine. So we end up using quite a bit of twine just to give it that leaning look. And then once we put in lots of other ironwood and more willow, the tension held it together and we removed all the twine. It's a very solid structure. I'm pretty confident you could drive a truck into it and it would not move. The only thing that'll take it down is time.
The reaction from the surrounding community started right from the beginning. I mean, people were driving by and, leaning out of their cars and yelling out, what are you doing? And my favorite was someone yelled out of their car and said, what does it mean? The appreciative audiences come from all backgrounds, all ages, but the ones that at least I think are most appreciative are the little kids. And you would hear them yelling out about, this being the home of Dr. Seuss, the Lorax, where the wild things are. Some of them got really into fairy tales they connected it to, and they all had questions about how did we do it and what kind of wood was it. So I felt like they were learning about issues of sustainability and art in this indirect way. It didn't really hit me till I could step back at the very end, just how big this was, not only as a large sculpture, but that we were getting people involved in the arts through this that otherwise maybe never would have stopped and paused to look at. To me, the significance of Lean on Me is evidence of the way that We maybe aren't as far from the process of building beauty out of the materials around us as we might think we are. We can go and just make these amazing, beautiful things, and I think it inspires everyone who sees it to think of what they might make around them.